It's time for Vanessa Roman's Property Perspective on News 95.7, your guide to buying or selling a home. Brought to you in part by the Villages of Seven Lakes. Now here's your host, real estate expert, Vanessa Roman.
Hello! Welcome to Property Perspective. I'm your host, Vanessa Roman. And on the show this week, we'll be discussing winter real estate. How to buy or sell a house in the cold, dark days of winter. Let's kick things off talking about some winter renovations. You know, it always amazes me the amount of money sellers spend on home remodeling projects with little or no professional advice, and there is a common misconception in the land of home ownership that you will get most or all of your renovation investment back out of a house upon resale, regardless of the project. Sadly, this is rarely the case because not all renovations are created equal. There are some which retain their value better than others. As we all know, kitchens and bathrooms tend to yield the highest return on investment when done correctly. But in my experience as a real estate agent, there are a few less well-known areas for improvement which can give you a great bang for your buck. So here are some of the renos you may not have considered doing in the winter. The first, replace all of your doors and windows in your property. Now, I know everyone is thinking at this very moment, it's winter, we need the windows and the doors, but replacing them in the winter may give you a leg up because contractors tend to be more available in the winter months than in the spring and summer. The same goes for the suppliers. So when you're looking to get your windows replaced, they have to be made somewhere. And when the spring and summer months hit, those suppliers are busy. So in the winter months, you might be able to get your order in faster and have a contractor there to install it. And the reality is, those types of renovations only take a day or two. So you may not want to plan it for the middle of a blizzard, but there are plenty of days in the winter which may be able to give you enough of a window to get that renovation done so that when the spring hits, you can sell it with all the new doors and windows already in place. The other renovation that you may not have thought about for the winter is to add a front yard parking pad for city properties. So you will have to talk with your city planning office to get the permits to do this, but with the winter parking ban in Halifax, you often have trouble, if you live in a city property, fitting 2 cars in your driveway. So turning your front yard, what little yard you probably have in a city property, into a parking pad could be a definite value add. If you live in the places South End, Halifax, West End, North End, that might be a good idea for you. And then the last renovation that, again, you may not have thought about for the winter is to repaint your entire house. You certainly can't do anything outside. You can't be below freezing if you're going to want to paint outside. But inside, you're spending lots of time in the house. Repaint the ceilings, the walls, the trim. Get it all done so that when the spring market hits, your house is ready to go. And people sell their homes at all times of the year, and winter's no different. Minor tweaks and considerations will minimize the trials and tribulations of the season and have you ready to sell your house. Here are 3 tips to make your house stand out in the winter months. 1, shovel the driveways. Shovel the driveways, the walkway, every exit door, including the side doors and your deck. And make sure that you have a really good de-icer down as well. Nobody is going to want to trudge through the snow to get into your house for a showing, and nobody wants anyone to get hurt slipping on ice or stairs as they're touring the property. The other thing you're going to want to do if you're going to show your house in the winter months is turn up the heat. You want your home to be somewhere around 23 to 25 degrees. So make sure you crank up that heat so when your buyers come through the door, it's like they're getting a warm hug from your house. And because of the winter months, we have less light, so make it bright. We miss the sun in the winter. Turn on every lamp. Open up the blinds. Allow all the light to come in so your house is glowing for showings. And if you're going to be buying a home in the winter, I have some tips for you as well. Buying a home in the winter months is a great idea. Don't believe the naysayers who tell you to wait until spring, and I'll tell you why. Number 1, buying and moving off season can give you an edge because many people want to sell in the spring and then move in the summer. So there are less buyers to compete with for making an offer. The second is negotiating power. Because there are fewer buyers in the winter months, you may be able to find a great deal on a new property much easier than when you have stiff competition from other parties in the spring and summer months. And another reason it's great to do it in the winter, moving day. It will be easier to book your movers, to schedule your utility hookups, and even hire a contractor if you want to do some renovations or repairs, because the winter months tend to be their slowest times of the year. So again, less people out there moving, less competition to book the services. So whether you're buying a home, you're selling a home, renovating one, or simply interested in all things real estate, the show this week has something for everyone. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we have a fantastic lineup of guests on the show today. We will kick things off with real estate agent Glenda White from Exit Realty Metro, and then we will have home stager Avril Brown in the studio with us. Later on the show, we will be talking to property developer Gail Penny from the Seven Lakes community in Porters Lake. And finally, we will end the hour by talking to Josh McLean from Efficiency Nova Scotia. We have some great winter housing tips and ideas from our experts today, and of course suggestions for increasing your energy efficiency and getting your home sold quickly this winter. All of this and more coming up right after the commercial break, so stay tuned.
Naturally remarkable. Discover the villages of Seven Lakes, a unique conservation-designed lakeside community just minutes from Halifax and a world away from the everyday, featuring acres of beautiful trails, green space, and community amenities, and homes for many styles and many budgets. Visit the Seven Lakes Experience Center, open daily from 11 to 7 in Porters Lake, and view the model homes. You won't want to leave. Live large at Seven Lakes. Visit sevenlakescommunity.com.
Choosing the right agent is key to getting the best real estate deal. Vanessa Roman is the right agent. Whether you're an experienced investor or developer or a first-time home buyer, Vanessa is a skilled real estate agent who will exceed your expectations. Vanessa specializes in military and RCMP relocations. So if you want to buy a new home or sell your existing property anywhere in HRM, choose the right agent, Vanessa Roman. Visit her website at vanessaroman.ca to learn more.
More than 9,100 Nova Scotians sold their home last year.
And they did it with help from their realtor.
Your realtor is your trusted guide throughout the buying and selling process.
They'll listen to your needs to serve your best interests.
They will share their knowledge and experience.
And they'll advance your home ownership goals.
Learn more about how realtors can help you at nsrealtors.ca.
Buying or selling real estate is the largest single transaction most of us will make. Hi, I'm Byron Balcom, legal counsel for Anderson Sinclair in Halifax. We're proud to provide you with experienced, professional, and friendly legal services at the lowest possible price. And now buying or selling your home has never been easier thanks to myclosing.ca. Enjoy convenient at-home signing, complete transparency, and fixed fee pricing. So no surprises. Visit myclosing.ca to find out more or call me today for a free consultation at 1-877-343-9894. Thank you.
The winter months are often considered the worst time of year to put a home on the market. And while the thought of selling your home during the winter months may send shivers down your spine, the season does have its advantages. Here to sell us on selling our homes during the coldest months of the year is realtor Glenda White from Exit Realty Metro here in Halifax. Glenda, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me again.
So you're an insanely busy agent here in HRM. Do people really decide to list their houses in the winter?
Yes, they do decide to list their houses in the winter. It may be for a job move or just quite frankly, it could be a divorce. There's so many different reasons why people have to sell. Whether or not people want to sell, is it the ideal time of year? I think it is because there's less competition on the market. In the spring market, you're inundated by so many houses to choose from at that time. Right now, things are selling and you get serious buyers. You don't get just, the nilly-willies that it's spring fever, let me get in or whatever. So the showings that you have are real good leads.
Well, that's one thing that I've heard lots of real estate agents talk about is that you don't necessarily get the same volume of showings that you would in the spring months.
Right.
But the showings you get are highly qualified, motivated buyers.
Absolutely.
So quality versus quantity, maybe.
That's right. And that's what I would prefer, because you do get the ones in the spring market that, they want to see every single thing on the market. And there's so much in the spring. And I just find you have a better opportunity. The January, February, March market, ideally when you start to get inundated is sort of towards the end of March into April. So if you can do it in advance, and this winter has been absolutely fantastic for sales. So,
and I would say just showings in general. I mean, so far we haven't had a ton of snow. I mean, certainly we've had a few storms. So that also must help in being able to get people into the properties, right?
Yeah, absolutely it does.
And what are some of the other advantages if you were thinking about buying in the winter months?
People are more motivated to sell. I mean, obviously, if they're on in the winter months, they're on for a reason. You get, the senior citizens that don't typically care to move at that time of the year. You'll see houses that were on the market and then all of a sudden the inventory will drop dramatically come the end of December. That Christmas date, people will take it off and stuff. And that's when I say to people, you know what? You may want to take it off for a couple of weeks over the holidays and then re-put it back on the beginning of January, because that's when, you're coming back on as a fresh listing. And you can start it fresh and hope that you can get rid of it before the rest of the high volume comes on in the spring.
So let's go back to sellers for a minute. What are some of the things that you always suggest to your clients when they're listing in the winter? Mm-hmm. What are some of those items that you say this is a must-have on your to-do list?
Yeah, well, one of my biggest things is heat. There's nothing worse than walking into a house in the winter and being frozen. It's a super turnoff for me as an agent because, we've just showed like 10 houses. Our feet are already frozen from trucking through their backyards in the snow and whatnot. That drives me crazy. Especially the vacant properties, don't be cheap. I guess that would be my biggest thing. If you have to go down and don't go down 10 minutes before the showing because it takes a house to get the chill out of it. You got to turn it up in advance and have the heat nice and warm. And so people come in and it feels like a home and not a house. So that's one of my biggest pet peeves, I guess you could say, in the winter is when I walk into a house and it's cold.
Well, let's talk even about walking into a house. I would think that would be another number one sort of priority list, right? Mm-hmm. Get the driveway shoveled,
absolutely.
All of that.
Because agents don't want to come, we do try to dress professionally and come in nice shoes and so on and so forth. And last winter was really rough. I mean, right up to the knees, you're doing your best to give your clients a pathway through, to get through. And then the door is frozen, and then you get up to the front and the lockbox is frozen and you can't get in. It's just that whole gamut of things. And you're just like, please, just shovel your walkway. It's not much to ask, right? So, and I try to make sure that, I give clients enough notice in advance. But you know what? If it snows and you do your driveway at home and you have a vacant property, then you got to go there next and get it done because people want to get in and see it. And it just, people look at those things for buying a house too, of whether or not, how big is this driveway? Is this going to be hard? But if it's cleared, maybe people aren't thinking about it as much.
If you're just tuning in, we are talking with Glenda White, who's a real estate agent here in HRM, and she's giving us her tips and advice for selling or buying property in the winter months. So let's switch back to buyers for a minute. If you have buyers that are trying to find a property in the winter months, are there some pieces of advice that you give them in advance as maybe a caution or at least a bit of a reality check? Because the likelihood of being able to see things like the entire yard if it's covered in snow and doing a property inspection with snow on the roof.
Absolutely. And that's pretty common right now. You do have mild spurts and all of a sudden the roof clears. And if it happens to happen within that week, oftentimes the inspectors will go initially and look at it. And unfortunately, they can't see the roof. So sometimes within the time frame of the offer, a lot of times a really good inspector will offer to go back and take a quick look. But other than that, unfortunately, even if there is sections of the roof that are exposed, a lot of times in the wintertime, they'll only look with binoculars. I mean, they have to be concerned of their safety as well. So I do explain that those types of things are, things that we have to try to get as much information from the listing agent to find out when the roof was last done and so on and so forth. Does it have a ridge vent? All those types of things that people would like to know.
So that actually may even be some advice for sellers as well. If you are thinking that you're going to be selling your house in the winter months, maybe late fall, take some exterior photos. Take some photos of your roof, so at least you can give your buyers a sense of, well, 2 or 3 months ago, here's what the roof looked like.
Yeah, and that was one of the other things I was going to mention to you as well, is inside your house. That's what I do tell the people that are listing their homes. If inside the house, if they could leave some photos out, summer pictures showing the pretty gardens and showing all those types of things, because unfortunately you can't see the yard. You don't know where somebody's garden is. You can't see it. So it's very important, like, where your hot tub is and where all the stuff is in behind, it sometimes, it can be quite the chore to get through, right? So, yeah, so that's very important to leave those items out so people can take a look at them.
Well, Gunda, thank you so much for being in the studio with us today. For listeners that are thinking of buying or selling a property in the winter months or spring, summer, anytime this year, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Glenda@glendawhite.com.
Talk to you soon.
Take care.
We are going to take another commercial break, and when we come back, we will have home stager Avril Brown in the studio. Avril is the owner of Prep Home Staging here in Halifax, and she has some decor and design advice for sellers wanting to entice buyers during the cold months of winter. What staging principles should you be following when creating a warm and cozy space this winter? Stay tuned. We will have that answer coming up next.
When buying a home, it pays to shop around. The mortgage process can be intimidating, and many Canadians pay too much in mortgage interest. Hi, I'm Jack Cameron from Premier Mortgage Center. I am here to help. As an independent Premier Mortgage advisor, I have over 40 lenders. I'll work with you to determine the best product for your needs. So whether you're buying a home, renewing, or refinancing your mortgage, I am here to help get the right financing from the right lender at the right rate. Visit me today at thewayhome.ca.
Naturally remarkable. Discover the Villages of Seven Lakes, a unique conservation-designed lakeside community just minutes from Halifax and a world away from the everyday. Featuring acres of beautiful trails, green space, and community amenities, and homes for many styles and many budgets. Visit the Seven Lakes Experience Center, open daily from 11 to 7 in Porters Lake, and view the model homes. You won't want to leave. Live large at Seven Lakes. Visit sevenlakescommunity.com.
Choosing the right agent is key to getting the best real estate deal. Vanessa Roman is the right agent. Whether you're an experienced investor or developer or a first-time home buyer, Vanessa is a skilled real estate agent who will exceed your expectations. Vanessa specializes in military and RCMP relocations. So if you want to buy a new home or sell your existing property anywhere in HRM, choose the right agent, Vanessa Roman. Visit her website at vanessaroman.ca to learn more.
Buying or selling real estate is the largest single transaction most of us will make. Hi, I'm Byron Balcom, legal counsel for Anderson Sinclair in Halifax. We're proud to provide you with experienced, professional, and friendly legal services at the lowest possible price. And now buying or selling your home has never been easier thanks to myclosing.ca. Enjoy convenient at-home signing, complete transparency, and fixed fee pricing. So no surprises. Visit myclosing.ca to find out more or call me today for a free consultation at 1-877-343-9894. Thank you.
Selling a home?
A pre-inspection will increase showings and help you sell faster.
Homes with a pre-inspection provide buyers more info up front, which gives peace of mind.
A certified and insured inspection with a buyer's choice provides a detailed report with an itemized list of the condition of the home.
This isn't a simple task for just anybody.
Trust Zdenko Yorick and his team from A Buyer's Choice Home Inspections to inspect it once and inspect it right.
For more info, go to greaterhalifax.abuyerschoice.com.
Some say winter is the worst time to sell a house. There are definitely challenges given the cold and stormy weather, but don't be discouraged. First impressions and lasting impressions are key. So here to give us some tips and tricks to setting the perfect stage for home sales is interior decorator Avril Brown from Prep Home Staging here in Halifax. Avril, it's a pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you, Vanessa. It's great to be here.
So tell me a little bit about the process of home staging. Like, what's really your role in that buying and selling arena?
There's a lot of different steps to the staging process. So my role is to guide you through that process and make it easier for you.
So walk me through, because when I want to sell my house, for example, I'm going to call up you as my home stager, and you're going to come in. And then where do we go from there?
Well, first of all, when I visit your home, I do a staging report, which covers all the things that I think would enhance the look of your house. They could be changing wall colors, removing some furniture, suggestions for lighting upgrades and that sort of thing. So I go through every room and I take notes and I email those to you. So it's good to have a list to start from, because a lot of people are really overwhelmed with the whole home selling process. So if you have a list that goes by room and step by step, it's a lot easier to do it.
And I truly believe that using the services of an interior decorator really does help sellers maximize their resaleability.
Yes, it does, because whether you use a stager or a decorator, staging's a little different to decorating. Decorating is for your personal tastes. Staging is to appeal to a broader audience. So what you want to do is appeal to all age groups and appeal to either male or female. So there are ways of doing that. No, you don't want to make a room too feminine. You don't want it too masculine. You want it to appeal to everybody.
And for the home staging, I know when I have clients that have lived in their properties, especially for a longer period of time, decluttering, that's the buzzword. Yeah. Everybody says it. But I am talking like 75% of the stuff needs to get out of here.
It's huge. Decluttering is one of the main things we concentrate on. You're selling square footage when you sell a home. So the less that you have in the home, the better. Especially older people, they might have possessions from 50 years of moving and taking those boxes with you. So it's really a good time to go through all those possessions, especially if you're downsizing. You're not going to have that room for storage that you have in a big 2,000-3,000 square foot home. So with a lot of clients, I really have to tell them, be ruthless, really go through all your possessions. Look at your stuff and say, okay, is this going to enhance my life and my next property? Is it something that I really need? So you really have to get rid of, as you say, about 75% of what you have.
For those of you just tuning in, we are speaking with Avril Brown from Prep Home Staging, and she's giving us some tips and advice on how to set the stage for selling perfection in the winter. So, Avril, when it comes to people that maybe don't have that really fantastic looking furniture, maybe it's dated, maybe it's a bit mix-matched, maybe the cat has, sharpened his claws on the couch.
Scratching posts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What kind of services can you offer in maybe bringing in some new pieces to freshen up a space?
Yeah, well, furniture rental is a thing that a lot of people are doing. If your furniture is dated, it'll give the suggestion that your home is dated, even though it's a fairly new home. And with the internet now, you really have to attract that buyer. So having it staged to your buyer's likes and desires, you're selling a lifestyle too, is really a big bonus when it comes to selling a home.
And how much would that typically cost? Is it an expensive thing to rent furniture?
It isn't expensive. I've done rentals where we've just rented one sofa up to a whole home of furniture, accessories, and artwork. So it just really depends, what you need. I work with all budgets. No, it doesn't have to be a big budget necessarily, but there are tips and tricks that you can do. Even moving furniture from room to room helps. And again, eliminating some pieces if the room is too full.
I know I have that problem in my house. I have lived with the furniture, the possessions, the pictures in those rooms, in those places for so long. I now can't look objectively at that room, and try and change it out myself. So that also maybe helps just having a fresh pair of eyes.
Exactly. That's the thing. You get so used to seeing your stuff in your home that you pass it every day. You don't really see the stuff piling up and rooms look too cluttered. When I go in, I'm going in with a fresh set of eyes, so I can see, okay, there's too much artwork on the wall, there's too many things on the counters, no, you have too many books, we need to pare that down. So I look at every little thing and see where we can make changes that will better the look of the property.
What are some of the interior design trends and colors we can expect to see this year?
There's a lot of pastels, which I don't know if they're necessarily good for wall colors when you're staging, but you could use them in accessories. Past season, there's been a lot of grays and gray tones, and they're still popular, but I think just adding touches of color here and there will really give it a fresh look. So you can do that with artwork, accessories, rugs, that sort of thing, and still keep your existing gray wall color, but just give it a fresher, more modern look.
I've been hearing that wallpaper is making a comeback. Is that true?
It depends where you use it. An all-over room of wallpaper would be too much when you're staging. So I would suggest if you want to use it in small doses, maybe in a powder room where you don't need a lot of it, or just one feature wall. It's really popular in the UK, but I think it's just catching on over here. I don't know if it will really be a big trend because a lot of people don't like wallpaper, and it's really hard to change. If you want to change a room with a coat of paint, you can change that so easily. So, in small doses, it's okay.
For listeners that are interested in staging a home, or maybe even just getting some decor tips and tricks from you, what's the best way to get in touch?
They can call me at 902-489-6162. I have a website at prepstaging.com, and you can get my email there. And I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, and recently Instagram, which I'm loving.
Well, Avril, thank you so much for being here today.
You're very welcome.
Don't go away. After the break, we are going to chat with real estate developer Gail Penny from the Seven Lakes community in Porters Lake. Gail is going to tell us about the principles of conservation design, which is the basis for her latest housing project. As well, she will share with us some tips and advice when tackling a new home construction project. So stay tuned.
Selling a home?
A pre-inspection will increase showings and help you sell faster.
Homes with a pre-inspection provide buyers more info up front, which gives peace of mind.
A certified and insured inspection with a buyer's choice provides a detailed report with an itemized list of the condition of the home.
This isn't a simple task for just anybody.
Trust Zdenko Yorick and his team from A Buyer's Choice Home Inspections to inspect it once and inspect it right.
For more info, go to greaterhalifax.abuyerschoice.com.
Going to sell it with EXIT. You're going to sell it with EXIT.
Is there a move in your future? Exit Realty Metro has over 150 agents ready to serve all of your real estate needs. We'll put the latest technology and systems to work for you. Leave your worries behind and let us take you home. Ask about our digital marketing strategy. Visit exitmetro.ca.
You're going to sell it with EXIT. Put the sign on your lawn. You'll never go wrong.
Choosing the right agent is key to getting the best real estate deal. Vanessa Roman is the right agent. Whether you're an experienced investor or developer or a first-time home buyer, Vanessa is a skilled real estate agent who will exceed your expectations. Vanessa specializes in military and RCMP relocations. So if you want to buy a new home or sell your existing property anywhere in HRM, choose the right agent, Vanessa Roman. Visit her website at vanessaroman.ca to learn more.
John, when are you going to do that beautiful bathroom remodel you promised? Honey, is that Henry the handyman in our bathroom?
Here's Chris Bowie from Beautiful Baths Renovations.
When it comes time to remodel your bathroom, you could give Henry the Handyman a try, or you could call us. To celebrate our 20th anniversary of providing beautiful bath remodels, we have a special offer on now. Visit us online at beautiful-baths.ca or call us for your free in-home consultation at 434-8088. That's 434-8088.
With winter here, now is the perfect time to start planning to build your dream home. Having a proper plan in place early on will help to avoid costly revisions later in the project, which saves you money and ensures your new home is built exactly the way that you envisioned it. Here to tell us more about the advantages of starting your project early is Gail Penny, who is the president of the Seven Lakes Development in Porters Lake. Gail, welcome to the show.
It's my pleasure to be here.
So let's talk a little bit about the Seven Lakes community. I mean, what makes this real estate development project unique?
Well, there are several features which help define its, unique characters, but I think it's the landscape overall. Really, it's a precious piece of property, and we've taken extra care to make sure we can bring those features to the homeowners.
So in what way? Because I know this is a conservation design development. So tell us a little bit about that idea.
Conservation design? Well, it's a concept which was introduced to us by our consultants at WSP. And basically what it means is that you take the best features of the land, all of the interesting elements, be it waterways or rock outcroppings or natural wildlife habitats, and you protect those areas. You carve out 60% of the land, and you protect that forever as a nature preserve. And then you put your homes and your roads and your infrastructure in the remaining 40%. So you end up with land that you can celebrate the wonderful features, and then you can build in trails and parks and common elements that the whole community can embrace and enjoy.
I know as a real estate agent, I certainly go into my fair share of development projects. And one thing that my buyers say more than anything is that they love older neighborhoods because they feel established.
Yes.
And that, to me, is what Seven Lakes feels like versus, going into a development where every tree's been cut down because there is a maximum amount of houses on a piece of land.
Yes,
so was that the idea?
It. Yeah, and in fact, if you're interested in reading about it, the gentleman who's kind of the grandfather is Randall Laurent, and his books show that really this is like a return to the old way of living. So it's when you did have communities that were clustered into closer areas, so you got to know your neighbors. You could walk down the street and see them, and the houses may be a little closer to the road, so that it was a little bit more like a cottage or a country feeling, and then having larger areas of unused land that could be used in those days for pasture land or for whatever, but now they're used for recreation.
And that was one of the things that I thought was very unique about this development is that you have these walking trails mixed throughout it that are kind of connecting these villages.
Exactly. I kind of think of, when you think of like ski villages and whatnot in the western part of the country, you can imagine that. You see houses nestled in the woods, and then you see trails all going around and centering onto a focus point, which would be the hills. Well, that's kind of like this. You see homes that are nestled around the streets, and yet you still have your recreational features to enjoy.
And tell me a little bit about your wastewater treatment system, because that also is something that you guys are really pioneering, especially here in Nova Scotia.
Well, it is something that's done in lots of other parts of the world and in Canada, and it's been done successfully. So it's not new. It's a very well-accepted way of providing wastewater and treatment systems in areas that don't have municipal services. So we're not pioneering the use of the technology, but really, I guess we asked ourselves at the beginning of our project, because we have such a long-term project, really we have 2,000 acres of land, so this will be a story that continues. So because we had so much to deal with and so much to plan and saw so many opportunities, we thought, well, what is it that people will be looking for when they're considering a rural experience? And Vanessa, I'm not sure if you're aware, but I mean, usually when you think of the rural setting, your lot size is that size because it needs to handle a septic system. So it's your soil conditions that determine your lot size. And that's why you end up with these very large lots that have a lot of grass that needs to be maintained, because you have to grass and sod your land in order to protect your wastewater system. So we saw that as something that we wanted to move away from, because our focus groups were telling us that a lot of people who want to live rurally are perhaps turned off because they think, I don't want to maintain a wastewater treatment system. I don't want to have to look after a well. And I really don't want to spend my weekends cutting the lawn. So they wanted the advantages of living connected to their community, connected to the landscape, connected to their neighbors, but they didn't want to have those maintenance issues. So we took a look, and certainly we found that not only were we able to provide the benefit of not having to look after your septic system, we were also be able to provide that service cheaper than if you had to do it yourself. So it isn't an added cost to a home buyer. It's actually a cost savings as well as a maintenance savings and a lifestyle savings, if you like.
For those of you just tuning in, we are talking to Gail Penny from the Seven Lakes community in Porters Lake, all about winter real estate. And we're talking a little bit about a development project that she has pioneered out in Porters Lake. So when it comes to planning a new home construction project, why is winter a good time to get started?
Well, I like it because you can see the landscape at all seasons. Often people take, they want to start in the spring, or they think about it in the summer or whatnot. But in the winter, you get to see what your lot could look like at this time of year. So that's important. But also it's the element of time. So you have time to sit back and reflect. Some people find the home buying process is a challenge. There are so many decisions to make. So it's nice to start early and really kind of take the time to consider all of the options. And that's what we're seeing. We actually had 3 home buyers sign for deals in January of this year, actually our very first week back from Christmas. But those buyers we'd been working with for a long time. So, that process isn't necessary to be rushed. It's okay to take your time. We're ready to have those conversations. We realize people are building their dreams. And it's just nice to be able to kind of start in the winter, see the landscape, get, new idea, new year, and get going.
And you guys have an experience center out in Porters Lake. So tell me a little bit about that. How would that help the buyers when they're coming to the subdivision to make those decisions?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. Our experience center is something we're very proud of. We did win an award for having the best experience center or sales center in the country. So it's something that we're very proud of. And because we know we're going to be building this community for 20 years, we felt it was important for us to make that investment so we can show people that really the lifestyle difference that you'll come to experience in Seven Lakes is a big part of the story. So you come in there, you get to see what conservation design means and how it can improve your options when it comes to siting your home. You don't have to use up all of your yard to hold a septic system. So you have a lot of options. We want to show you how we've designed our road layout to allow us to have many different sites available. So a walkout basement is a great option. You can twist your house, turn your house to catch the sun. In fact, a lot of people don't think about that when they're thinking about a new home. They're thinking about the physical look on the outside. They're thinking about some elements of the interior, but they're not really thinking about how it will embrace the landscape. So that's what the Experience Center helps you to do. Helps you to see the sites. We could show you the topography of each site, talk about what your needs are. Do you want a house on a slab? Do you want a walkout basement? And really help you fine-tune your choices. And then, of course, move into looking at some home styles and looking at options.
It does sound like a wonderful place to experience the community, yes?
We make good cookies, too.
That's what I heard, actually. I did hear that there was fresh baked cookies. So if that doesn't bring you into the Experience Center, nothing will.
Well, I should also say that the Experience Center is open from 11 till 7 days a week.
Well, Gail, thank you so much for coming in today and sharing everything about the Seven Lakes community with us.
It's my pleasure.
If you would like to get more information about building a new home in the Seven Lakes community, check out their website, sevenlakescommunity.com. We are going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we will be speaking to Josh McLean, who is the manager of the residential programming at Efficiency Nova Scotia. He's going to share with us some of the exciting new programs Efficiency Nova Scotia has for home buyers across HRM. Josh has some great information coming up, so stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Going to sell it with EXIT. You're going to sell it with EXIT.
Is there a move in your future? Exit Realty Metro has over 150 agents ready to serve all of your real estate needs. We'll put the latest technology and systems to work for you. Leave your worries behind and let us take you home. Ask about our digital marketing strategy. Visit exitmetro.ca.
You're going to sell it with EXIT. Put the sign on your lawn. With Exit, you'll never go wrong.
When buying a home, it pays to shop around. The mortgage process can be intimidating and many Canadians pay too much in mortgage interest. Hi, I'm Jack Cameron from Premier Mortgage Centre. I am here to help. As an independent Premier Mortgage advisor, I have over 40 lenders. I'll work with you to determine the best product for your needs. So whether you're buying a home, renewing, or refinancing your mortgage, I am here to help get the right financing from the right lender at the right rate. Visit me today at thewayhome.ca.
Choosing the right agent is key to getting the best real estate deal. Vanessa Roman is the right agent. Whether you're an experienced investor or developer or a first-time home buyer, Vanessa is a skilled real estate agent who will exceed your expectation. Vanessa specializes in military and RCMP relocations. So if you want to buy a new home or sell your existing property anywhere in HRM, choose the right agent, Vanessa Roman. Visit her website at vanessaroman.ca to learn more.
Naturally remarkable. Discover the Villages of Seven Lakes, a unique conservation-designed lakeside community just minutes from Halifax and a world away from the everyday. Featuring acres of beautiful trails, green space, and community amenities, and homes for many styles and many budgets. Visit the Seven Lakes Experience Center, open daily from 11 to 7 in Porters Lake, and view the model homes. You won't want to leave. Live large at Seven Lakes. Visit sevenlakescommunity.com.
Selling a home?
A pre-inspection will increase showings and help you sell faster.
Homes with a pre-inspection provide buyers more info up front, which gives peace of mind.
A certified and insured inspection with a buyer's choice provides a detailed report with an itemized list of the condition of the home.
This isn't a simple task for just anybody.
Trust Zdenko Yorick and his team from A Buyer's Choice Home Inspections to inspect it once and inspect it right.
For more info, go to greaterhalifax.abuyer'schoice.com.
For those of us that live in a northern climate, the topic of home heating efficiency is a hot one. If you think your heating costs are sky high, then perhaps it's time to get a home energy assessment. Here to tell us more about that program and other tips on improving your efficiency during the winter months is Josh McLean, who is the manager of the residential programs at Efficiency Nova Scotia. Josh, it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
So, Josh, why are the cold winter months especially challenging for people that have low efficiency in their homes?
Well, as you mentioned, we live in a climate that is cold for the better part of the year. So most of the energy used in our homes is actually to keep them comfortable during those times and to keep it warm. So that's where people really, come to us and say, how can I make my house more efficient because I do want to reduce my energy bills used for space heating.
So what are some of the programs that you can offer to residential customers?
One of the best ones we have is called Home Energy Assessment. And essentially, there's an expert that comes out to your house and they assess the efficiency of your house. So they do a kind of a bottom to top go through of your house. They check out, your insulation levels. They actually do a draft test to find out how drafty it is and where the drafts are coming from. And then you end up getting a tailored report that identifies, what are the most important things you can do to save on energy use in the house. And then we have rebates and financing as well to help people actually take action and do the upgrades in their house.
Rebates and financing. Okay, well, talk to me a little bit about rebates and financing because those two words sound pretty tempting when you're upgrading your efficiency.
Yep. So I should mention the program itself is available for, or the rebates and financing that we do have is available for homes that are heated with electricity. So it's primarily electric heat. The rebates that we have are up to $5,000 in rebates, and it's for anything like, doing some draft proofing around your house, changing out your heating system, putting in insulation, windows and doors, and a variety of other things. And then depending on the amount you want to do, you have the choice of either getting rebates back after you do the work, or you can choose low-interest financing as well if you want to help use that money to pay for the upgrades in the first place.
And does this financing come through Efficiency Nova Scotia?
The financing is actually through TD Bank, but it's the bank that we've partnered up with to offer this program to Nova Scotians.
And anyone can apply for it?
Yeah, the one thing you do need to do is you start off by getting a home energy assessment. So before you start doing any work in your house, you would want to have someone come into your house first. Then once you're enrolled in the program, then you're at that point eligible for financing and eligible for rebates, and we can walk you through the process.
What are some of the other programs that you have? I know Green Heat is something that I hear a lot about.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's another popular program too, and it's actually something we just revamped a little bit last fall to actually include more eligible products in there. So this is a program, again, for electrically heated homes, and it's a program where you do need to be pre-approved for. So basically you would fill out an application form, and it's really for homes that kind of know what they want to do to put in a heating system. So if you've got a house that, say, has electric baseboards, that's going to cost you a lot of money to heat that house in the winter. A lot of what people are doing are considering putting in things like wood stoves, pellet stoves, or even mini split heat pumps, and we've got rebates and financing available for all of those, as well as other things too.
If someone was wanting to change their heating system, but it was, say, an oil-fired furnace, and they were going to a heat pump, even ducted or a mini split, would there be a rebate for that type of change?
Unfortunately, we don't have any rebates for that specific type of change. Most of our funding comes just for reducing electricity use. So because they wouldn't be reducing electricity use, we don't have any rebates. However, what we can offer those homeowners, which are lots in Nova Scotia, is advice on what you would want to consider if you do want to make that kind of change. And in a lot of cases, it does result in their heating bills going down quite a lot too.
And what are some of the energy solutions that you offer to lower income families? Because I know you have specific programs just for that demographic.
Yes, we do have, for low-income homeowners in the province, we have a program called Home Warming, and it's something we're really proud of. It's essentially we go out to the house, we do an assessment of the house to find out what needs to be done. We've got contractors that we've partnered up with. They actually go into the house and do the work, and then we do a follow-up assessment to see how much the energy efficiency is improved, and all of that is done at no cost to the homeowner.
For those of you just tuning in, we are speaking with Josh McLean, who is the manager of the residential programs at Efficiency Nova Scotia, and he's giving us lots of tips and advice on how to increase our home efficiency this year. Can you give me an idea, Josh, of how much money the average homeowner can save when they increase the overall efficiency in their home?
Sure. It varies quite a lot by home, but it's going to be, if you happen to be in a home that was heated by oil, for example, those tend to be around $800-900 a year if you're going to do, quite a few upgrades in the house. An electrically heated home, probably closer to $500 to $700 savings per year, depending on what you're going to do. The rule of thumb is really the older the house, typically the more that can be done because there would have been less insulation in the beginning. The house tends to be draftier, would have a less efficient heating system, whereas the newer homes tend to be more efficient because they're built to today's standards with more insulation, better draft proofing, and better heating systems as well.
I was in a house the other day in the South End, and my client was walking through, and part of the upstairs attic area was exposed, and when it was a walk-up attic, so when we got up there, we saw seaweed. That was the insulation that they had in the house. I couldn't believe it.
Absolutely. It's actually quite common. Homes, even built before the 60s and 50s, either had seaweed, sometimes they have newspaper, and sometimes they don't have anything at all in the attic or in the wall. So there's really a lot of opportunities there to make the house a lot more comfortable and to save a lot on your energy bills too.
So for listeners that would like to get in touch with you at Efficiency Nova Scotia because they want to obviously participate in all of your programs, what's the best way to get in touch?
Well, we've got some great energy solutions advisors that you can call. The phone number for that is 1-877-999-6035, or you can also check us out online at efficiencyns.ca.
Josh, thank you so much for being here today.
Great, thank you.
We are going to take a quick break right now, and then we will be back to wrap things up and let you know what is happening on the show for next week. Stay tuned.
Naturally remarkable. Discover the Villages of Seven Lakes, a unique conservation-designed lakeside community just minutes from Halifax and a world away from the everyday. featuring acres of beautiful trails, green space, and community amenities, and homes for many styles and many budgets. Visit the Seven Lakes Experience Center, open daily from 11 to 7 in Porters Lake, and view the model homes. You won't want to leave. Live large at Seven Lakes. Visit sevenlakescommunity.com.
Choosing the right agent is key to getting the best real estate deal. Vanessa Roman is the right agent. Whether you're an experienced investor or developer or a first-time home buyer, Vanessa is a skilled real estate agent who will exceed your expectations. Vanessa specializes in military and RCMP relocations. So if you want to buy a new home or sell your existing property anywhere in HRM, choose the right agent, Vanessa Roman. Visit her website at vanessaroman.ca to learn more.
When you need to renovate and you need a professional contractor to help you, contact Monk Renovations, a member of Nova Scotia Home Builders. Monk Renovations can install a window or double the size of your home. They'll manage the project and make your renovation visions come to life. Fully insured, Monk Renovations shows up on time, clearly communicates with you, and leaves your site clean. They are your trusted professionals. Monk Renovations, online at monkreno.com.
More than 9,100 Nova Scotians sold their home last year.
And they did it with help from their realtor.
Your realtor is your trusted guide throughout the buying and selling process.
They'll listen to your needs to serve your best interests.
They will share their knowledge and experience.
And they'll advance your home ownership goals.
Learn more about how realtors can help you at nsrealtors.ca.
John, when are you going to do that beautiful bathroom remodel you promised? Honey, is that Henry the handyman in our bathroom?
Here's Chris Bowie from Beautiful Baths Renovations.
When it comes time to remodel your bathroom, you could give Henry the handyman a try, or you could call us. To celebrate our 20th anniversary of providing beautiful bath remodels, we have a special offer on now. Visit us online at beautiful-baths.ca or call us for your free in-home consultation at 434-8088. That's 434-8088.
And that's our show for this week. People buy, sell, renovate, and build homes all year round. And thanks to the panel of experts today, we now have all of the tips and tricks we need to minimize the trials and tribulations of the cold weather and maximize our property successes. If you want to learn more, you can always visit my website at vanessaroman.ca or follow me on Twitter at VanessaRomanTV. Up next week, we will be talking about getting ready to buy real estate. Whether you're thinking about buying a house, selling one, or maybe you are interested in renovating your existing property, if the outcome you seek is success, then you better start with a solid plan. Tune in next week, and our expert guests will help you get that plan started. I'm Vanessa Roman, and thank you for listening to Property Perspective.
You've been listening to Vanessa Roman's Property Perspective, brought to you in part by the Villages of Seven Lakes. If you have any questions, you can email Vanessa at contact@vanessaroman.ca. Vanessa Roman's Property Perspective is heard every Saturday at noon and Sundays at 8 a.m. only on News 95.7.